Hello, welcome to week 7. This week we're going to be talking about workflow analysis. So let me open up our week here of assignments. And as you see on your checklist, you have some readings to do, and then you can read the case study. And then it's time to analyze the case study and complete your workflow diagram, and then analyze that and present that in a PowerPoint presentation. Now, you will be working on this in a group, and you will have 2 weeks to complete it, so you can set up your Zoom meetings to get together, or if everyone is around the same area, you can meet. But after you are done with the group project, you need to evaluate each of the members of your group. So let's go ahead and go through some of this information. So we'll go down to the workflow analysis case study assignment. I'm going to open that up here. And what we're going to be analyzing is the waiting time in the emergency department. So this is a fictitious hospital, city hospital, and the case study is about how the patient goes from coming through the door to checking in to triage to waiting, and then what they do after they get back to see the physician. All right, so if you look at this order of patient flow, we are going to be focusing on, for the diagram, patient arrival, the check-in process, the triage process, and then the person going back to the waiting room. So as far as the diagram goes, 1 through 4 is what you're going to be working on. Now, you need to read the rest of it because there are some questions at the end that you will need to analyze the workflow by looking at this and by reading these not patient, but the employee statements. So it's very important with the workflow analysis to talk to all the people involved. So there are interview statements here that you can go ahead and look through and pull out information that might help you come up with ideas to improve the workflow in this hospital. So if we go down here, there's talking about what you're going to be doing as far as creating a detailed workflow diagram. And there's 2 parts that you're going to have to do. The first part is what we just discussed, creating a diagram of the workflow from the time the patient arrives to the hospital until the triage nurse sends them back to the waiting room. Then you need to create a PowerPoint presentation with your findings. Now, there's going to be specific questions and specific things that you need on the slides in your PowerPoint presentation. So let's go ahead and look at some of those. So you need to define the scope, gather information, review the steps, create the workflow diagram, and then validate and analyze what you have created and the workflow you came up with. And then that's when you're going to do the recommendations. So you're going to finalize and share this information in a PowerPoint. So you see here the different slides that will need to be included in your PowerPoint. Just like in your previous PowerPoint, if you would like to use 2 slides to explain something, that is fine. You just need to make sure that you include all of this information that's listed here in your PowerPoint presentation. All right, so you need to submit the workflow, and that's made with PowerPoint. Okay, so you're going to make a PowerPoint slide of the workflow. Then you're going to make a PowerPoint presentation including that workflow slide. And you're going to submit those in two different spots. So let's go and look where you're going to do that. So if we go back to week 7 here, you're going to submit the workflow analysis diagram right here. And remember, when you open that up, what are you going to look for? Yep, you're going to look for the rubric, because you want to make sure before you submit it that you have met all the criteria so you get all the points. All right. So then after you submit that, then you're going to also submit the PowerPoint presentation. So again, there's a different spot to do that. It says the workflow analysis PowerPoint. So if you open that up, you'll see that that also has its own rubric of what you need to include. So you're going to place the PowerPoint slide with the diagram in your final PowerPoint presentation, but then you're going to turn just that slide in as a separate assignment, all right? Then finally, you're going to be evaluating the group members, and you can evaluate yourself as well. So let's take a look at the rubric first of what you're going to be evaluating. So it says rubric for evaluation of self and peers. So we're going to open that up. And this tells the criteria that you're going to be thinking about of how you did in the assignment and how the group members did. So participation and contribution, leadership skills, respect and collaboration, quality of work, dependability, problem solving skills, and the engagement and motivation. So it will tell you how to rate yourself and your group members. You give 5 points if this column accurately describes how the person did during the project. 4 is good, 3 points is satisfactory, 2 is needs improvement, and 1 point is poor. So this is what you're going to read, and then you're going to place that on a form. So let's look at that. So here's the peer and self-evaluation workflow assignment form. So I'll open that. See, is it going to open, or do I have to get it from up here? All right. So this is what it's going to look like. So that rubric we just looked at, you're going to look at that. Then you're going to be typing the name of all the students that are in your particular group. Include yourself as well, because you're going to be evaluating yourself. Then you're going to go ahead and put the points for each student for each of these criteria, all right? When you get this chart filled out, then you're going to submit that back to Blackboard. So let's back here. And that is down at the bottom here. Submit the completed peer and self-evaluation form here. All right. Now there's no rubric for this one. If you complete the assignment, you will get 2 points. All right. So that is what week 7 looks like. Again, you will have 2 weeks to complete this assignment. So if you have any questions, make sure that you let me know. All right. Well, I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.